Okay, so I just have thoughts on things. Okay, I saw that video popping up in my recommended for the past few days. Didn't watch it. I don't trust something that I do not know to be run by trans people to be talking about HRT, obviously. But I have seen people discussing the video today. That was an interesting thing to wake up to. And one thing that stood out to me was the bit where it was jumping from the trans femme HRT to the trans masc HRT and going, now for something a writer has experience with, testosterone. And I'm like, wait, so you're saying the writer for the entire previous bit doesn't actually know about feminizing HRT? Like, you realize that that's kind of not a good look? And like, okay, I'm not gonna automatically say it's a trans guy, because, there is also the possibility of a cis guy who's taking testosterone because of, not having his balls anymore. That happens. Testicular cancer in both of them. It's a possibility. So, but I feel like this probably wouldn't have been mentioned if it wasn't a trans masc writer. So, yeah. But this is just, how does it keep happening where TME trans people keep ending up being involved in things that end up hurting TMA trans people? Like, okay, here's my thought. Rather than having the person who has no experience with feminizing HRT write the parts about feminizing HRT, if you have no on-staff trans femme writer, you find one. This is what you do. I know oh yeah, you pay her, obviously. If you don't fucking pay her, then you're still bad. But I know plenty of trans femmes would be happy to, actually get the information on feminizing HRT, like the real information, out to the mass public. Because there's way too much misinformation out there. And yes, this video, and that video is a contributor to it. Congratulations. Fuck. Whatever. But no, that part just really got me, because it's like really revealing why the video's a fucking hunk of garbage. I didn't have any trans women or trans femmes helping, write the script and writing, at least the parts about feminizing HRT. We don't need to talk about masculinizing HRT because we're not that familiar with it. Fun fact. So, getting a trans masculine writer to be talking about masculinizing HRT. Duh, that's obviously something you do. But don't then have them also do the feminizing HRT bit when they're because they're just not familiar with it. Not in the same way a trans femme person would be. I don't know. Maybe listen to trans women every once in a while about our own health care, which we consistently seem to have a better understanding of than anyone else. It's seriously starting to feel that way. Like, Jesus Christ, man. And the Orientalism, I'm not saying that right, or am I saying that right? Whatever. That whole part. Okay. Oh yeah, and the whole, you don't have to take HRT, we don't need to medicalize our bodies. Like, fuck you! You literally sound like a TERF right there. You literally sound like TERFs. I think, that was a talking point from them, even a few years back. I don't know if it's still as big a talking point, the discussion of them saying screaming lifelong medicalization at trans people to, somehow convince us not to take HRT. That's what you sound like when you say that. That is, like, it's the same word. Don't use that word. Oh my gods. Like, I don't know, man. I think it's fine to be stuck taking a medication for life when it helps you. That's why medical science exists. Alright? Like, not everything's gonna have a fucking cure that you can just take once and it's done. Sometimes you're gonna be taking a medication for the rest of your life so you don't have, like, chronic pain or whatever. And that's fine. There is nothing wrong with that. Not everything needs to be, like, hard, outright cured. Sometimes you just you treat it. It can't be cured, and so you, like, maybe we can, like, eliminate chronic pain entirely in the future, but I don't know. I don't want to, like, gatekeep people's ability to, like, take medications that stop the pain now while we don't have the ability to just permanently stop it with a one-time treatment. If we don't have that, then whatever. And don't take me this advocating for a cure for gender dysphoria. The only cure for gender dysphoria is transition. I'm just saying. There is no other option. Like, oh sure, I'd be perfectly happy with, like, a one-time instant transition pill that just does everything all at once. That would be lovely, but not realistic either. Like, maybe you can, like, do some things to, like, make, like, synthetic ovaries or whatever, or synthetic testicles for trans men, but that's all besides the point. Whatever. I think that whoever slipped that line in, because, like, I dearly hope it wasn't the writer, if the writer is transmasc, who put that in there, and if they were, then, dude, you are in no trans community of mine. If that is the sort of sentiment you're going to be putting off, if you're going to be, like, saying things like that on a large public platform, like a popular YouTube channel that people look to for, like, actual science knowledge and facts and to learn science stuff, when you have a platform like that, you need to be responsible. I'm not saying that one mistake and you're evil. I'm saying that you need to do your research, you need to do your due diligence, and when you do make a mistake, you need to own up to it. You need to be like, our bad, we fucked up, we'll try to do better. This was not any of that. I don't know much about the transmasculine parts of this because, to be honest, I haven't seen enough people talking about it, and I'm not giving this video a click. I'm sorry, I'm not giving it ad rev. Not when at least the trans femme HRT stuff is this much of a disinformation fest. So, until someone says something about what was actually in the testosterone part of the video, I can't really commentate on it. But the parts about trans femme HRT was some egregious disinformation that, honestly, is kind of par for the course at this point. Like, I remember trying to get on progesterone. Like, it was a thing for, like, a good half a year, maybe more, before I actually got on it, where I was trying to basically argue to my doctor that it actually is helpful, that it actually does something, that it actually contributes. And contributing to the misinformation around progesterone is just pisses me off, man. And allow me to provide some insight on progesterone. It has been helping with breast growth. I haven't gotten much in the past couple months, mainly because, like, you actually need, like, you need to put on a bit of, like, fat to grow anyway. But, and I have an eating disorder, so, which is another thing that I'd like to address at some point, the whole thing where people are like, hey, you disappointed with your results for breast growth? Just eat. And I was like, fuck you, bitch. Some of us have eating disorders. And telling a person with an eating disorder to just eat is, well, it's actually one of the most unhelpful things you can possibly do. Anyway, that's whatever. But as for progesterone, I was talking about breast growth. What other things have I noticed? I've been sleeping better, so that's been fun. It has had an effect on libido. Now, this is YouTube, and YouTube may not like me discussing that or whatever, but fuck you. This is my YouTube channel, and it's a very important thing that a lot of trans women and other assorted trans feminine individuals care about. You know, when they're not asexual, you know? They're not asexual. I suppose they don't really care. But, like, if they are asexual, like, depending on the specific flavor, like, they probably don't. I'm ace flux. Like, I care about my libido. Anyway, point is, it's had positive effects on me. Like, I haven't noticed any mood effects from it. Like, it's not been a major positive increase other than the whole positive effect on my mood from, you know, getting more sleep and sleeping better and shit that I've seen from this. Like, it's been easier to fall asleep at night than even while I was just on estrogen. Like, estrogen did have a noticeable improvement. This had another noticeable improvement on my sleep. It's really wild. What else? But yeah, that was some misinformation that pissed me the fuck off because, like, that's part of what's contributing to, like, the whole problem of, like, trying to get on it, like, where doctors are saying, oh, it might not have an effect, and sometimes it's like insurance won't actually cover it for transfem HRT. You'll need to pay out of pocket. Fortunately, I'm getting it paid for by OHIP, so thank fuck, because otherwise it would be like $60 a month that I'd need to keep crowdfunding. But like, so, yeah. Fuck, I'm trying to figure out how to continue this point. And continuing this myth that progesterone does nothing for trans feminine people is contributing to trans feminine people's ability to actually get it. And ask any trans feminine person who's been taking progesterone, and 9 times out of 10 they'll say it's had a positive effect. Sometimes it has a bit of a negative effect. I'm not discounting that. Like, your mileage may vary, obviously. Bodies aren't all one size fits all, you know? They're unique. But I, spent, the better part of a year trying to get on it. And because of the misinformation around what effect it actually has, I had a much harder time getting on it than I might otherwise have. And there's also been any misinformation over just, estrogen and anti-androgen, in this case, spironolactone, which I just can't wait until I'm off it. It's so fucking annoying. But, and then just wholesale going, oh yeah, breast growth stops after 3 years. No. I've been on HRT for over 3 years. I started progesterone after 3 years were up, and it's still growing. they are still growing.
Because,
bit of a contradiction there. It's been over 3 years for me, and yet my boobs are still growing. How does that work? Huh? I'm a medical anomaly. Now, but what else? What else am I thinking? Yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to say on the subject of this video, really. Like, there's nothing else to talk about for me. Like, sure, I could, if I wanted to, just watch that part, go through, basically break apart pretty much everything the video claims, but I'm not giving ad rev to this channel if this is the sort of garbage they're putting out. I'm not gonna do that. And I don't want to do that. I have better things to do with my time. I have stories I want to write. Like the last video I posted, I was talking about the sort of things I want to write. And simply put, this is just kind of like, I don't know. It's not like it's going to, it'll have an impact, sure, but it's just more of the same sort of shit that trans people deal with. So, like, there's nothing particularly egregious that sets this apart, to be honest. It's just the video, it's just the controversy of the day. It's just the discourse that I woke up to this morning. And there's other discourse going around in other spaces, too. This was just the one that I saw the most this morning. And sometimes I want to make, like, a big commentary, and most of the time I just don't. I don't, like, pull out my phone, open up my camera, and just talk about my thoughts on these discourses most of the time, because genuinely, most of the time, I feel like I have something better to do with my time than just, like, rant about my feelings on the subject. But this time, I couldn't not at this point. Like, this isn't even, like, new misinformation. It's the same sort of bullshit that has been going on, that trans women, and also trans men, there's probably some bullshit targeting trans men. I'm not gonna, I don't know that for sure, because, like I said, I haven't seen anyone discussing the parts that are talking about transmasculine HRT, because, most of the people I've seen discussing this are trans women, rightfully pissed off at the misinformation. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say about the video, so I'm probably gonna close this off now. So, if you want to take estrogen, take estrogen. Progesterone helps. Spiro's not that great of an anti-androgen. Stop this stupid Orientalism about, like, third sexes and non-Western cultures. Okay, a lot of them have outright stated, we are trans women. Like, you're just talking over them like, you could be more like that. It's like, fuck off, genuinely. And some people are going to point to me saying, like, swearing sometimes in this video and being like, see, the hysterical transes are mad. And it's like, of course we're mad. And I haven't raised my voice in this. I've used profanity, but I haven't raised my voice. Oh, look, there's another complaint that I'm getting into. The way that when I get angry, it's framed as us being bad or whatever. But, I don't know, man. Like, look at it this way. There's this dog. You got a dog. The dog's a friendly dog. Nice dog. Maybe a bit naughty sometimes, and you gotta be like, no, to the dog. Okay, this isn't the best of comparisons, and actually, I don't think I want to use dogs as an analogy when talking about trans women. Not because it's derogatory, but because someone's gonna get horny thinking about this. Yeah. I just know it. Someone's gonna get horny. So, but yeah. You're hitting someone. You keep poking them, you keep prodding them, you keep fucking, like, messing with them. And then they snap at you. Like, they'll be like, dude, can you fucking stop? And it's like, yeah, maybe they come off a bit rude with their response, but at the end of the day, you were the one provoking them. You were the one pushing at them, prodding them, and stuff. So, like, they can kind of be forgiven for getting fucking pissed off at you, okay? And that's basically what's happening here. Moral of the story is, cis people need to shut the fuck up and let trans people control the discussion about our own healthcare, because we're apparently the only ones who give a shit about it actually being good healthcare. Anyway, I'll see you all around. Oh, also, here's another thing. I am 100%, I do believe that for trans femmes, laser hair removal is medically necessary. And it's not elective, it's not just cosmetic, and is actually, you know, I don't know what the exact terminology. It's essential healthcare. That's what I'm saying. And if you disagree with that, yell about it in the comments, and Montana or I will delete your comment. Bye!